my goodness. Hi my creative little bookworms. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you've been having the most whimsical week ever. As of I'm filming this, I have officially 200 subscribers, which I was lingering between 198 and 199 for a while. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for 200. Although 200 does not sound that much to others, to me that means a lot because 200 people watching me and returning and actually enjoying my company is crazy to me. I decided that I was going to let a random wheel number generator pick how many pages I read per day. Now the reason I decided to do this week is because it's finals week and I only have 2 exams, and that's this morning and next morning. And it's nerve-wracking. And I woke up at 4 today because I had this much anxiety, even though I was like, I'm perfectly chill about it. I've done everything in my power for my exam. But I feel like now that I only have 2 exams the entire week, and then I have the rest of the week off, that gives us plenty of time to read. And I've been wanting to read more, prioritize reading over scrolling on my phone. Anyway, you don't care about all of that. You guys get the gist. We spin this wheel, it determines how many pages I read that day, and I read that many pages. I'm not going to limit myself to just those pages. Let's say if I want to read more, sure, I'll read more.
I forgot to mention a few more rules. For example, the numbers that the wheel generator is picking from is from 100 to 200 pages, so anything in that range. And if I somehow fail to read the necessary amount of pages in one day, then I have to add it to the next day.
Anyway, without further ado, let's spin the wheel. $142. Okay, that's good. That's like kind of right in the middle. Now for my current reads, physically, I'm currently reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I just started this yesterday, and I'm currently 31 pages in. I'm really excited to read this book because I read other Holly Jackson books, literally all of her other books besides this series, and I've heard that this one's the best. And I've loved all of her books in the past. They were all bangers, so I'm really excited to read this. So if you are not aware of what A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is about, it's a mystery thriller. Basically, this girl, her name's Pip, and for her senior year project that she has to do, she decided she was going to investigate a case that happened about 5 years ago, where this girl, Andy, was killed by her boyfriend, Sal, and then later Sal offed himself, okay? But Pip always had a sneaky suspicion that that is not really what happened, so she is trying to solve this case by herself. And it says on the back, eventually things start unraveling, and someone in their town does not want her finding out all the secrets. Boom, I'm sold. And then the other book I'm reading, this is Beautiful Boy by David Chef. Sorry. I'm currently 49 pages into this book, also on chapter 4.
For some reason, every single time I try to explain the synopsis of this book, my brain gets all jumbled. I always stutter. So you're going to have to stay with me now. It's a nonfiction book based on a true story, written from the perspective of the father, aka David. Now, David has a son Nick, that struggles with an addiction to drugs. So the story talks about Nick's life leading up to his addiction, during the addiction, and after it. It also talks about the father because it's written from his perspective. And it shows how addiction has a larger effect on not just the person, but the people surrounding the said person with addiction.
is day 2 of this challenge. It is Tuesday. Let me just say a quick update about my exams. I finished my first one yesterday. All went well. Okay. The only thing, I was the first one to finish. The only one to finish in the first hour. And yeah, amazing. For some reason at school, I can't log in and read. I only read like 20-ish pages, but I had to stay at school the entire day, despite being done in the morning. So, yeah. But today is Tuesday, and as I've said, and I have my last exam, and I'm so excited. I have a math exam. It is nerve-wracking, it is scary, but after this, I'm going to feel so satisfied. And I know I'm going to come home at like 1-ish o'clock, 1:30, so I could read more. Yesterday, our goal was 142 pages, and I started on page 31 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I got till page 150 yesterday, and that means we read basically 120, I didn't read enough. Oh my goodness. I thought I was going to go on here and be like, hey, we didn't fail the first challenge. I realized that I didn't have to get till page 142. I had to get till page 173 or something. That sucks. Okay, well, this was me having a brain fart, and I'm so sorry. I basically failed yesterday's challenge. I feel like if I kept going, I could have finished. But to add a twist onto this vlog, whatever page amount I read yesterday will be added onto today's. So I have to read an extra. So if we started on 31, we should have ended on 173. So that we would have to read an extra 23 pages. It's literally 191. 214 pages. That is... Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? 214 pages? I can barely read 100 in one day. But I only read Good Girl's Guide to Murder yesterday. I did not read Beautiful Boy, unfortunately. Hey guys, today is day 3. It is Wednesday. I am so happy to be done with all of my exams. It all went well yesterday, and I woke up this morning. I was snug as a bug in a rug in my bed, and I was like, wait, all my other friends have exams today. I could never imagine. From yesterday, I actually read the necessary amount of pages, and that is crazy to me. We started off this vlog on Monday by failing, which I didn't realize until later. But let me give you a few updates. On Beautiful Boy, I got till page 141. We basically read about 100-ish pages because we started on page 48. So this is how much we read of Beautiful Boy. I'll pop up like the numbers over here.
I hate the way I was talking in this clip, and I'm sorry for doing a voiceover, but it drives me insane whenever I use the word so much. It was unhealthy in this clip. What I was trying to say was, at this point in the novel, it was reading more of a non-fiction-y book, which, let me explain. Non-fiction is a big category, right? And under that category falls a genre, memoirs. Memoirs to me are more enjoyable to read because you feel more connected to the author, and it feels more personal and more deep. But what I'm trying to say by non-fiction-y, I mean like self-help books, biographies, and such, like the Let Them theory, or a few other ones, Atomic Habits, self-help books. That's what I mean by non-fiction-y. And I was hoping this would read more as a memoir, but maybe I just went into it with the wrong idea. It's not that it wasn't personal. I definitely felt I felt it, but it started because we were getting into the meat and potatoes. The author started including information about the drugs that his son was using, Nick, and there was like a whole entire chapter dedicated to it, and those chapters were kind of gruesome to get through because at that point I was like, okay, let's get it on with. But also at the same time, like, I do understand. I wouldn't say that the author should have taken it out of the story because it definitely puts into perspective. And additionally onto that, the father, he would connect Nick's experiences and other things and such with the father's personal experiences in life. So let's say he said he also had his fair share of, doing drugs and such. So you see how the author connects the things together. And when the author had his own moments in there, I got a tad bit confused because there was quite a few characters, and I just didn't care enough to get to know the characters that he was introducing because I knew that this character isn't going to be as important in the long run. That's what I was trying to say.
I was reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder yesterday, and I was like, oh my goodness, I could finish this in one sitting. If it wasn't 12 a.m. yesterday, I would have finished this in one sitting. Currently on page 274. I'm this far in. We have about 100 pages left, give or take, 110. This is really good. And at first I was like, I can see the appeal to this. Maybe it's not going to be, I'm going to like it, but I'm not going to like it as much as her other books. Maybe I've overhyped it in my head, but it's getting good. It's getting so good. It's time to spin the wheel. Oh, it is the same day. It's 8:15. I just changed. It's 8:15 and I still haven't read anything. day 4 of this challenge. It's Thursday. I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder yesterday. What the heck? What the heck was this book? I think I'm gonna rate this a 4.5 stars or a 4 stars, somewhere in between there. I enjoyed this book so much. It was so good. It had amazing pacing. With her other book, The Reappearance of Rachel Price, I did notice an inconsistency in the pacing, and I don't know if I'm forming my thoughts correctly, but it was just a little weird, the pacing and the way we were moving along with the story. But fear not, that did not happen in this book. I enjoyed it so much. It had also great characters. I loved how it just all wrapped up. For the romance aspect, I didn't really care for it. I didn't expect them to actually kind of show romantic interest in the novel. It was very late into the novel. It was the last few pages, but I didn't expect them to show romantic interest until the second novel. But I guess it's teasing it, and I didn't see them kind of their chemistry or whatever. But at the same time, I don't have to pay attention to that because it's not a romance. It's a mystery thriller with a small little subplot of romance. So because I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I basically had 113 pages of that left, which meant we had 5 pages left to read. And yesterday, I did not have the motivation to read Beautiful Boy, 5 pages of this, because it would have been in the middle of a chapter, and I didn't want to do that. So basically, in total, we have to read 132 pages, because I have 127 pages to read, and then 5 pages from yesterday, since yesterday my book was 113 pages. It's day 5. It's Friday. Yeah! I finished my required reading amount for Beautiful Boy yesterday. And I'm so proud of myself because I was like, oh my goodness, I kind of want to DNF this. Oh my goodness. You know what I was saying. And then as time went on, I was really enjoying this book. We have officially got 57 pages of this book left. And I'm excited to finish this because today it's time to spin the wheel. rated this a 4 stars. Originally, I was going to rate it a 3 or like a 3.25, and I just bumped it up to a 4 stars. This had potential to be a 5 star. I think this story will stick with me for the rest of my life. This book should be like required reading in order to live in a society. Every single high schooler, this should be like in high school, globally, not just in America, not just in Canada, globally, every single country, in high school you have to read this book. Even if you're homeschooled, you gotta read this. Because it gives so much insight on, it gives a lot of insight on the life of an addicted person, addicted to substances specifically, and what it's like loving someone and being a parent of someone who has that addiction. It's such a great book. It's so eye-opening, and it just feels, you're bound to be more empathetic if you read this book. That's what I'm trying to say. This is really annoying me. Yeah, it does get a little bit boring at times, but you just have to stick it out. You have to keep going. It gets better the farther you go into the book, and you can tell by my annotations. And it has pretty good writing. At the start, it feels like
innocent because we're talking about Nick's childhood and what led up to his addiction. And at the start, I still stand by what I said, where at the start it is a little slower and it's harder to get into. And by start, I mean the first 150-ish pages or so. But it's just keep going and it gets way better. Now, if it wasn't as slow, then I probably would have rated it a 5 stars, but I still think it's a book that everyone needs to read.
Hi guys, it is Saturday. You're going to have to excuse all the background noise. My entire family is here today, and obviously they're gonna make noise. Yeah, so I'm just gonna talk louder. Hopefully you can hear me. Originally, I was going to do an entire week, 7 days of reading, of spinning the wheel, but I decided that I wanted to give myself a break for the weekend, edit this video, do a few more things, and therefore I am going to stop this video edit this week. But hey, we finished 2 books in this vlog, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Beautiful Boy. And we started Part of Your World yesterday by Abby Jimenez. So yesterday, because I finished Beautiful Boy, I needed to read 66 pages of this book in order to complete my time. And unfortunately, I did fail that, and I only read till page 50. We had 16 pages left, but I could not do it anymore. My eyes were strained. I was like, I can't do this. Why did I just put an accent on? But I did not read, unfortunately, the last 16 pages that I need to read of this, and that's perfectly fine. This is just a daily, I feel like it's a refreshing reminder. Why do I keep saying the word refreshing? It's a reminder that sometimes, you're not going to read as much as you want to. And you should be grateful that you're reading, that you have the chance to read, that you should be impressed that you are actually reading, because there are people that they've only read like 1 book in a year, or 4. Or 0. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I feel like also there's a literacy crisis right now. I don't know. Basically, you should be happy that you're at least reading. because there's other people out there that are using Spark Notes. Although I could have like scrapped this vlog and been like, oh, I didn't write as much as I needed to. I failed quite a few days. That's fine, because this is kind of realistic in how much I read. I did push myself an extra to really read the amount of pages I needed to. If you are curious on my thoughts on this book, then I will have another vlog probably coming out where I'll be reading this book. So just to keep your eyes peeled if you are curious about my thoughts on this book. And yeah, I hope you had an amazing day. Let me know if you read any of these books, and if you like them or not. Let me know what other videos you want to see. As I've said, I hope you have the most whimsical week ever. And if you're feeling overwhelmed today, go touch some grass or snow, and I'll be here when you get back.